Hey guys, I have a bunch of new products from the drugstore for you, and one that's a little more, not a drugstore, but a little more high-end. I know you've seen about this online already. This is the TirTir foundation. All of these and a couple of old tried and trues put this look together for today for me. So if you're interested in seeing whether or not I liked these in a first impressions type video, this is the one. It's not a full face of first impressions, but it is a face full of first impressions. And if you know what I mean when I say that, you're my people. Let's get into it. Okay, so even though it's spooky season here, I'm gonna pull my hair up off my face because I don't have the kind of witchery in me that it takes to do makeup with hair down. All right, so that's pushed back. Let's get into what we're gonna go with first. The first new thing to me is not a brand new product, but this is that Trader Joe's Daily Facial Sunscreen. It's the one that's supposed to be a super goop dupe, and I haven't used it yet. Safety seal is still on. Let's get rid of that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put this on all over my face because it's sunscreen. I do already have regular moisturizer on though, so I don't really know what to expect from this. Oh, I almost was thinking about treating this like a moisturizer too, but it's gel-like, which there's nothing wrong with that. And I think I might've put too much out, but let's see what this is like going on the skin. Oh yeah, I definitely took too much. Oh, I hope this doesn't mess with my foundation application. I kind of think it will, so I'm gonna get a tissue and just wipe a little bit off. It feels very silicone-y, but it feels comfortable, so I don't have an issue with it. It's just that I definitely didn't need as much as I put on. This is similar to Super Goop. Yeah, I can see why this is considered a dupe or a close dupe. I like this. Okay, now moving on to my other new thing I got. This is, I haven't seen or heard anything about this, but I've kind of been out of the loop lately. This is the Covergirl True Blend Skin Enhancing Primer, and mine is in Cashmere Calm. It's got a little tint of green to it. I'm just gonna squeeze out a little of this. And I like for this to cover the redness in my cheeks. And you think, well, you don't want green on your skin. Well, it's supposed to blend out. So we'll see how it does with that. And I'm just gonna do one side of the face with this on it so that we can see if it makes much of a difference. Now my touching my skin fires it all up. So that'll calm down here in a minute. I mean, it's the primer that we're using. So let's go ahead and do up here too. And do part of the nose. And the other half, I'm just gonna use my NYX Marshmallow Primer. Got it in my hair so that we can have a good solid comparison to what the red undertone of the skin looks like with this on there. Just a little bit down here. And I feel like I should put more over this. I'm trying to resist that urge. We're doing it. Probably a mistake. But you're gonna see with this foundation that I'm gonna use, it has such good coverage. Having a tinted primer like this is gonna be almost like just an afterthought. And then like I said, I'm going in with the NYX Marshmallow on the other side of my face. Okay, primer, sunscreen, moisturizer is on. The only other thing I already had done first is my eyebrows. So we're gonna get into the TirTir. You guys have seen this all over. It took me a minute to get on board with it because I just wasn't quite sure about how anything that gets that much hype really makes me it just makes me skeptical. A while ago, I posted about how with TirTir, you could go on there and choose a sample shade range. It's gonna cost you a little bit of money, but what better way to narrow down what's perfect for you? So I ordered, I think, 2 sheets of different color ranges, and I'm glad I did. I found one that works for me almost perfectly now, and that's this one, which is 24W Soft Beige. And I would not have considered myself a warm, but that's what it looks like on the inside. It's just a cushion. It's a damp cushion. It has the foundation in it. And when I tell you, you only need a little bit, you only need a little bit. This is the little sponge that it comes with. Just barely dab on there and wait till you see what this does. It's crazy. Anytime I dab a little more because I think to myself that's not going to be enough, I always regret it. So watch this. I just kind of tap it in. Do you see what's happening? How that's just kind of blanking out the skin. Look at all the redness that's showing. And this is not just because of this green primer underneath it. This is what this stuff does. It's incredible. I wore this on a recent vacation to Nordic Fest up in Decorah, Iowa, hanging out celebrating with my fellow Vikings. And it was hot, it's summer, we were on our feet outside all day, and it lasted. I don't want to be like super enthusiastic about something like this because it is so gimmicky and has made such major news in like the beauty community. I mean, I'm gonna give credit where it's due. Here I am kind of like only doing this half of my face, and I'm using this foundation everywhere so I can calm down with that. I'm barely using any of this, you guys. It's crazy. All right, so foundation, one layer, no foundation. If I didn't mention, the green tone primer is supposed to cancel out the redness in your skin. I'm sitting here wondering if I even said anything about why you would put green on your face first. I probably didn't. I have blue veins that show through on my skin here. They always have. People used to think that I had pen on my face. It's just my veins, people. But I'm trying to just dab a little bit more over those spots to see if that helps it kind of go away. Blend away, please. If I really wanted to make a difference there, I should have brought a concealer, but that's fine. It's okay. So this is what we're dealing with for one coat of this foundation. This side has the new Covergirl primer, which I don't think I've ever tried a Covergirl primer, but there we go. I'm just taking a little more of that foundation, covering up some red spots. I have tried this with a regular foundation sponge, and it was no-go. This little sponge they send you is the secret for working with this. Sometimes I look down at my scar and I'm like, I wonder if I want to cover it. Nope, I don't want anything on that. I don't want anything on it. Okay, foundation's on now. I'm just gonna do a little bit of contour. I don't have anything new for that, so we're gonna fast forward through this. And I'm sitting here remembering that I forgot to set the foundation first, but honestly, it's going on just fine. So we're gonna avoid putting another layer on and just leave it as is for the minute. So I was starting to say with that foundation, I've been using it for a little while now, so it's not that it's a brand new first impression or anything, but it is still new to my routine, so we're not counting that as a brand new first impression. Okay, for blush, we're gonna use a good old standby for that as well. My Buxom Wanderlust in Seychelles. So pretty, so simple. And just a tiny little kiss of a shimmer. Now I'm going to take a clean, fluffy face brush and just go over and kind of blend it in with the contour. And it also takes off if there's any extra that has no business being on there. And I'm just going to do a little bit of setting with my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder because I want to use everything that's really reliable anytime I'm trying something new so that we're not muddying up the process here. This is most certainly not new. Now, Urban Decay's Naked palettes are getting a comeback. They're like, the world is waking up and remembering how great they were. And I have 3. This is my favorite. I don't believe this is the one that's getting all the attention. Like the first Naked palette is the one that's getting all of it. But this is Naked 3, and you can see she's been through some stuff. It's not the prettiest palette. You can see some wear and tear on it. But look at those shades. They're so pretty. And it's such a simple, like you'd look at that and think, oh, I don't want pink. That was my initial reaction when I first saw this palette. But a makeup artist did a look on me and it looked really nice. So I bought it because easily influenced. So in honor of the fact that Urban Decay Naked palettes are making a comeback, we're gonna use this one. First, I'm gonna start with a little combination of Strange on the end and Limit right here, just because I don't want too much of a white base, but I don't want it to be too pinky either. And I'm just brushing that through the center. Nothing magic, nothing that you guys haven't seen. Sometimes I would just go in with the light pink shade because it's just quicker that way, but I want to kind of even out my eyelid area because I'm not going in with an eye primer. And then I'm gonna go back in with the brush to just the white on the end and just kind of spread that gently across the actual lid. A little more of Limit on the brush, up into the crease, almost all the way to the brow. Now I'm gonna take a little bit smaller brush, and I'm gonna go into one of my favorite shades on here, and it's this one called Nooner. And we're just gonna take that across the upper area of the crease. If you have a hooded eye, you already know this is where your eyeshadow, your deeper shade goes. Not in the crease directly because it's gonna get lost as soon as you open your eyes. I'm just going back into Strange with that same brush I just used because it's mixing a little of that white from the Strange in with the darker Nooner shade, and I'm going right up into the bottom of my eyebrow with it. And then I'm gonna combine a little of these two, Factory and Mugshot, and I'm gonna put, ooh, that's not a good one. I need a small brush, it needs to be firm. And go right in here in that V corner. I'm just placing it there with this smaller, stiff brush first, because if I do this with a bigger brush, I'm not gonna be able to be as precise. So what I like to do is get it where I want it to be initially in that little V, and then I take that brush I was just using for blending out the Nooner shade and go over it with that. It simmers down some of that dark and also spreads it out a little bit more nicely. It just gives me a little more control. You don't have to do that an extra step with a different brush, but I just find that that works better for me. Now I'm just going to take a clean, big, fluffy brush, and I like to very lightly, very gently go over what I've already done, blending again into the next color up. Now, if you wanted to, you could take any of these shimmer shades and go in the center corner, but I'm not doing that. I'm not shimmering today. So I'm just using the Strange, like that fluffy brush that you just used, and go back and forth. Bring some of that dark in over the Strange color. Here we go, a very simple, basic, everyday eye look. I think I've talked about this before. This is the new Maybelline Hyper Easy Felt Tip Liner. This is good. Not my favorite, but it is good. I'm just gonna go over the top line of my eyelashes. And I'm remembering how much it kind of does its own thing. It just have to be, it's not that it's bad, it's just you have to be really careful when you're using this one. Now, the next new thing I have to show you, this is the Lash Paradise Voluminous Lash Primer. Usually lash primers don't really do anything for me, but I saw this and I feel like I remember hearing good things about it, so I thought let's just give it a try. Maybe this is the one. So you have, it's got your typical white finish. Let's see what this does for the lashes. I should do one with and one without, just so you can see the difference first. I did this side, the green, so let's do this with. I feel like it's going on a little clumpy. Should I take my lash comb through a lash primer? I don't know, maybe, probably not. I'm trying to look at what showed up on the lash comb, if there's any little fibers. I don't see any. Okay, so just this side will do the primer on. It's a little burny, like my eye's burning. It's fine. So in order to give the primer a really good shot, I wanted to grab one of my mascaras that I know is good, but it doesn't give me like really big, boisterous, beautiful, full lashes. It's simple, it applies well. So this is the Catrice Glam & Doll False Lashes, a go-to for me if I need just a real quick application. I know this is gonna do just fine. Let's see how this does over the primer. We'll go this side first so the primer can dry a little bit longer. This mascara, it evenly coats my lashes. It makes them definitely noticeable, but it's a bit more of a natural look, and that's okay. It layers over itself nicely. It doesn't usually need run through with a lash comb. All right, let's go in on the Lash Paradise Lash Primer side and see what happens. Okay, so that's one coat. I'm gonna say, looking in my close-up mirror, this still looks like it's got more on. Well, it does because it has extra coats, but this has that primer, and it's supposed to make my lashes 14 times more, wait, what? 1.4 times more voluminous than mascara alone. 1.4, that's all you got? Like, you brought it out of the lab at that? Really? I feel like I can still see a little white over some sections, so just touching up there, and then we'll be even with about 3 coats on each side. I feel like this side looks like it's a little more clumpy than this one, and some of you may interpret that as a fuller, more voluminous lash. My life would be so much simpler if I didn't use a close-up mirror, because half the stuff I notice that I feel the need to fix, nobody else would notice. And I'm up here doing it anyway. What do we think? Do we notice a difference? The only difference I notice truly on this side that has the primer is that the lashes are clumpier. And I don't mean clumped together, I mean like little tiny dots of heavy dark mascara clumped together. To be fair, it's not bad, and I think that unless you're getting up really close, unless you're getting up really close, somebody's not going to necessarily notice that on you. So, okay, let's see what it does for the rest of the day. 2 more things that are new to me, and then we are done. We'll go throughout the day and see how it's holding up, and I'll check back in with you at the end of the day. The first thing I grabbed is the NYX. Oh, wait, what is this? Holy shit, is this a new brow thing and I forgot it? Dang, it is. I messed it up. Well, you know what? Okay, this is the NYX Powder Brow, and this is new to them. It says Powder Louder, and I got mine in the shade Taupe. I haven't even opened it. You can see that. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in here. We're gonna call this being used because I do have some spots I can touch up on my brows, so let's do that. Powder Brow, Powder Louder. Anyway, this is Taupe. Let's see what this looks like going on. NYX is usually on point for me for brow stuff. So let's see what it will do, just touching up a little bit. It's darker than what I've got in there right now, which is funny because one of the things I have in here is a NYX Taupe product. Okay, if I do any more, I'm gonna mess it up. So let's leave it at that. Not bad. Definitely need to play around with that one a little bit more before I make any kind of decision on it. Did the mascara. Oh yes. I was thinking that last thing was a lip liner and that I wouldn't need one with this, but it was a brow pencil. So this is the NYX. This is Milky Gloss and in the shade Milk the Cocoa. Is this stuff supposed to smell? This is from that line where everything has got chocolate names. Let's see what this does. I definitely should have taken the moment to go down and grab a lip liner. This would look pretty with a brown eye look. It's not bad, but it's not my favorite. Everything makeup-wise for me, eyeshadow, eyeliner, mascara, blush shades, I always lean towards brown. It works the best. I feel like it's just kind of a softer way, and I'm a soft person, delicate flower. Okay, in love with it or not, there's our look. I think that I'm going to try again with that lip gloss though, with a liner when I go to touch up today at some point in time. So I will show you a check-in or two here and there, how we're doing throughout the day, what it's looking like, what it's holding up like. And then we'll get into which ones of these new products that I have tried today, our selection being right here, is worth it if you are thinking about getting any of these. Again, just a first impression. It's not like I'm gonna be coming to you with a real thorough report tonight, but I will be able to give you a good idea pretty much on what I think about this stuff. So stick around, we are almost done. So I'm actually out in the garden. It's Labor Day when I'm filming this, and I wanted to get some more cherry tomatoes for our salads that we're gonna be having. And I thought this is a good opportunity to show you how this looks in daylight. I'm pretty pleased with it. Like nothing's really budged, except the lip gloss, of course, but I don't expect that to be long lasting. But I think it looks pretty nice outside in natural light, and so far so good. 2 thumbs up. Okay guys, so it is the end of the day here. I've been wearing this for about 10 hours, so it's not a very full long day, but I think it's long enough to give a educated first impression opinion on what you're going to get out of these products. First, let's talk about the Trader Joe's Daily Sunscreen. This one is really nice because it's a little goes a long way. We learned that during application, so it's going to last you a long time, but I think that it felt just silicone-y enough that the foundation really smoothed over it nicely. So I was pleased with that. It did not interfere with the application of the foundation, the resulting finish of the foundation. I was pleased with that. The next thing being the Covergirl True Blend Skin Enhancer Cashmere Calm Primer. This was the side that we did this. The green is supposed to cancel out redness, so I have natural redness on my cheeks going down right here on both sides. Did it help cover a little bit? Maybe a little bit. I see just a little bit more redness here in this area than I do on this side, but the foundation played a big role in that as well because it is even though you only use just a little bit, that TirTir foundation is, for me, medium to high coverage. So I feel like that plays a really good role in kind of balancing everything out. But this was not a problem. Like this did not get in there and interfere. It didn't leave my skin with any kind of a green tint. This side I just used the regular NYX Marshmallow Primer. I do think this did make a little bit of a difference here. Not enough that it really knocked my socks off initially, but I do think it did a nice job. I'm happy with it. I put this all over this side of my face. And as far as the staying power of my foundation, everywhere else, it really looks the same on both sides. The next thing would be that TirTir foundation. This is something that people have been talking about for a while. Like I said before, I don't want to get like crazy hyped up over something that everybody's talking about because I don't know that I can trust the reviews that I'm getting. I don't know that the company isn't sending this to people. If this isn't just the new thing, so everybody's raving about it because everybody's Googling it. Are you Googling things? everybody's looking it up and researching it on the internet. So I don't want to fall into just the hype, but I did get a really good sale price on this and I thought, what the heck, I'm going to try it out because I was hearing really good reviews from people that I trust online. I like it. I think it is a nice, long-lasting foundation. I was outside for a little while, not like overly sweating, but this is my look at the end of the day. And aside from maybe needing a little bit of powder here, like in my T-zone, I'm happy with it. I think it looks really nice. So the TirTir is a good one if you're on the fence about it and you do want a nice foundation that is going to last you a long time, because a little goes a long way with this too. This is a good one for you. The next new thing that I tried was the L'Oreal Lash Paradise Lash Primer. So this is the side that I applied the primer on. This side I did not. And at the end of the day now, the one thing I can say about it is it did not do anything to cause transfer. I was concerned that it might lead to something, but you can see both eyes, they're clear. There's no transfer above onto my upper eyelid, maybe just a little bit beneath lower lash line on both sides. So, but when it comes to what a lash primer is supposed to do, it didn't do anything for me. Like I hate to say that I feel bad about it because L'Oreal makes so many great mascara products. I just feel like this is an unnecessary, unhelpful step. So if you guys know of a good lash primer that maybe I haven't tried yet, let me know. I can think of maybe 3 or 4 that I've tried over the years, but nothing has ever stood out to me. The last thing that I was trying, I hope I'm not forgetting anything. The last thing that I believe I was trying was the NYX This is Milky Gloss. Mine is in the shade Milk the Cocoa. I told you before that I thought this isn't the last thing I tried. This is the last thing I tried because I thought this was a lip liner. It's not. I'll get to that here in a second. I told you before that I was going to try this with a lip liner. So I went around and lined my lips with the Honeybee Gardens in Perfection. Yeah, Perfection is the shade on this. This is just a real nice, simple lip liner. I believe I got this on Amazon, but it's something you can find in health food stores. Pretty basic pinky brown color. So I just lined my lips with that about half an hour ago and went over it with the gloss to touch up because it's a gloss. It's not a long-lasting lip product, nothing that I expected to last longer, but it complemented that color for the liner nicely. And it's going to help hold the gloss in on my lip just a little bit better than having it kind of smear around because you've got that solid line going around the exterior lip line. Plus I overlined just a little on the underside, in the middle, and at the Cupid's bow at the top. I just like to do a little straight line across when I'm using a lip liner. I find that it makes a nice poutier appearance, and I thought it looked really nice with that too. This was not long lasting. It's maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half before I started to really notice a feeling like, yeah, when I pursed my lips together, the inside is really wearing away and what's left on it is just kind of in the outer rim. I would need to reapply, but that's to be expected with the gloss, so no problem there. Now, the actual last thing that we were going to talk about, what I was thinking for whatever reason was a liner. This is the NYX Powder Louder Brow Pencil in taupe. I forgot about this until the very last minute that I had it. It's got your spoolie on the one end and just a regular like to be sharpened style brow pencil on this end. That's the color that we're working with for taupe, and I really pressed down hard on that. You're not getting any fine lines here. This is not going to make it look like individual hairs, but it's a brow pencil. You shouldn't expect that from a brow pencil anyway. It's just going to help fill in some gaps. So I went around and touched up just a little bit. The thing that kind of threw me about this was that this is the same shade and same brand of what I used in my brows today, which was the NYX Lift and Snatch. Now this is also in, taupe. I use this because this makes great individual hairs. Love the way this works for my brows. Now, this is fine, and I will use this again, but I would say if you have a decent amount of brow hair and you just kind of want to fill in a little bit, make it look a little more full, you're not going into almost like bald patch spots to have that hair-like effect take place, you would probably like this. And I would say go ahead and try it out. But if you have a lot of work to do in your brows, okay, but you're probably going to use something else with this as well, which is not a big deal to me because I use 2 or 3 different brow products at a time too, if I'm really going in for that like chiseled perfect look for my brows. So that was a good one if you can make it work for you. Okay, so yeah, guys, I think that was about it. I hope you like this, new at the drugstore or newer-ish, new to me from the drugstore. Like I said before, this is the first video that I filmed since my surgery, and I appreciate your guys' patience with me. The energy that it has taken from me on a daily basis to heal from a major surgery is amazing. Like, I never expected to be so tired all the time. But any other energy that you have in your body on a normal, regular basis, it's like it's all going towards healing. So there's not much left for, you know, playing around on YouTube, making videos. I haven't even watched a whole lot of YouTube. Also, why are they all doing this with their hands now? Everybody's doing this. We've gone from tapping with our nails to doing this all the time. I think it's just another way to get your attention. I'm not going to do that to you often. If you had fun, click the like button. It helps me a lot. Also click subscribe, have your bell on so that YouTube notifies you when I upload a new video. And I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one, whatever that may be. I don't have my skeleton on. And that's it, guys. I hope to see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day, and bye.